Hi everybody, Kevin here. I want to talk to you today a little bit about knots and rope work. I've kind of got a background in rigging and sailing, as in sailboats. I was a sailing instructor for a little while, and I also work with 4 units of scouts, and I teach them all their knots and rope work and things like that. So I've got just a little bit of background, not as much as some folks do, and a little bit more than some other folks do. And this is really going to be an intro to a series. What I want to say before we really get the series started is there are really about 4 common reasons that knots fail. Number 1, the knot is tied wrong. It is used wrong. It's tied in the wrong material, or the knot or the rope that it's or the material that it's tied in becomes damaged. And those are really the most common reason that knots fail. You'll have to forgive the road noise. There are 2 highways about 4 miles either way of me, and unfortunately they're both under construction, so everybody is using the road out in front of the house here about 100 yards or so away as a shortcut. So that being said, we will get to tying some knots and doing some rope work. Alright, the knot that I want to show you first is a square knot, which I've already tied here. I'll untie this and show you how to tie it in just a moment. The purpose of a square knot is you're going to use this in round line. Normally you want both of the lines to be of the same construction, but I'm using a natural fiber and a nylon here just because it's what I had that were good different colors that would show up. This knot is actually used to tie 2 lines of the same or very, very similar size together. And it's also known as the reef knot in sailing because it's used to reef or shorten the sails when you've got heavier wind condition. In scouting, it's known as the joining knot, and they call it that in scouting because it's basically a symbolic knot that they learn to tie, and it symbolizes the joining, mosquito, of the scout to the scouting program and to the other scouts and scout leaders. And to tie this knot, it's really fairly simple. You're going to take the line that's in your right hand and put it over the top of the line that's in your left hand. Let me get that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Take the line that's in your right hand, put it over the top of the line that's in your left hand. This is going to come back underneath. Get a little more slack there. Then you're going to take the line that's now in your left hand, which was the same line, and it's going to go over the top of the one that's in your right hand and tuck back underneath. And then you're just going to pull this tight. And you will see that you can check yourself on this knot to make sure you're tied right. Both of the running ends will be on the same side of the knot. In other words, they're both on the top in the way I've got the knot laying here. Both of the colors, both of the same line, they will pass through the loop of the other line in the same direction. As you can see, the yellow line is passing underneath the loop in the brown manila line, and the brown manila line is coming over the top of the loop that's in the yellow line. So it's just a way to check yourself. There are a couple of knots that are similar to this. They're not the same knot. A granny knot is similar, but the lines pass through the loops differently. And a thief's knot, when you tie the thief's knot correctly, the running ends or working ends of the line will be on opposite sides of the knot. But I digress. We'll show you those knots later. If you wish to make this knot a little more secure, you can do that by either putting a half hitch on both sides, which we will show you later. You can whip the ends of this line together, which is nothing more than tying these lines together with a smaller line, and I will show you how to whip later when we're talking about rope care. You can also put a stopper knot in the end of these, either a figure 8 or a simple overhand like that, so it will not slip back through. But this knot is made to have constant load on it or constant pressure. It's not made to be in a situation where the rope is loose and tight, loose and tight, loose and tight. It's made to have constant load on it. And when this knot is tied properly and in the proper material, You can put just about as much load as you want on here up to the breaking strength of the line. This knot will not lock on itself, no matter how tight this knot gets. You can always come back and either work the ends of the line, like so, or work these loops, and the knot will loosen back up for you. And that's about all I've got to say about the square knot. Stay tuned for more.